It's Sunday, March 23rd, right now on 12 News at 10.
I'm Gabriella Becerra in downtown Phoenix as police investigate the death of a young father. They're also investigating their own response to the incident. I'll explain coming up.
I'm meteorologist Chris Dunn, looking at a weather pattern not just giving us heat, but record-breaking heat and a run at our first possible 100 of the year.
I'm Trisha Hendricks, an East Valley gas explosion survivor and other burn survivors lace up their shoes for an incredible cause. Coming up, we take you to the annual Arizona Walk of Courage.
The first game's objective was to basically just kill as many people as possible.
It was banned in 14 countries and pulled from the shelves of American stores. But a violent video game is back.
You can kind of go back and play Postal 1 and see some references to what looks like Bisbee.
12 News at 10 starts now.
It has been a week with no arrest after a single punch outside of a Phoenix bar led to a man's death. Phoenix police say a brawl broke out. Two off-duty officers were there. They tried to break it up, and a 22-year-old man did not survive. Thank you for being here at 12 News at 10. The two off-duty Phoenix police officers were just feet away when that deadly punch was thrown. 12 News journalist Gabriella Becerra reports why the case is now under internal review.
We've learned Phoenix police is not only investigating this case by looking for a possible suspect in the young man's death, but they're also internally investigating how their own officers responded. The family of 22-year-old Rafael Montoya is looking for answers after he was violently killed in front of a central Phoenix bar.
The whole family is hurting. The greatest pain is losing a child.
Montoya's Aunt Lizbeth sharing how his death shook the entire family, leaving a 1-year-old baby without her father. The 22-year-old man was reportedly at a bar near Central and Roosevelt around 2 a.m. on March 16th when a fight broke out. According to police, two off-duty Phoenix officers were working as security and tried to break it up, but not before Montoya was knocked unconscious to the ground. He was taken to the hospital with severe head trauma and died 3 days later.
At the hands of some people who brutally beat him, a vicious attack against him. We don't know why.
Phoenix police tell us investigators have been watching videos of the fight, adding a Professional Standards Bureau investigation is underway to see if policy was followed. According to the department, these investigations are brought forward by citizen complaints or supervisors. It's unclear who prompted this one. Phoenix police is asking anyone who may have captured video of this incident to contact investigators or silent witness at 480-WITNESS to remain anonymous. In Phoenix, Gabriella Becerra, 12 News.
Gabriella, thank you. It is possible we could see our earliest ever triple-digit high temperature this week. Meteorologist Chris Dunn is here. I know it's kind of an outside chance at this point, Chris, but it looks like we could get very, very close.
Yeah, I think we will get very close. We're talking about a degree or two either side of our forecast, and we could hit that triple-digit territory. Record heat this week, specifically on Monday and Tuesday because of this weather pattern setting up a big sprawling high-pressure ridge. Unusually strong for this time of the year, so that's why we're talking about highs in the mid to upper 90s. These 2 days, these will be record-setting days. And 99, that's just 1 degree away from 100, which the earliest we've ever set was March 26, and that's the only time we've ever hit 100 in the month of March back in 1988, and that's Wednesday. So Wednesday's record, I think, is safe, but the average date of our first 100 is May 2nd. Way ahead of schedule. And remember, we hit our first 90 back in February. Tomorrow between 1 and 6 p.m., record heats will be well into the 90s at that point. AC will be your friend, and make sure you hydrate. Lots of water. Water. This dry heat is really deceptive. You can become dehydrated without even realizing it. I'll take a look at some of the other record numbers for the rest of the week and a little bit of a cool down coming up in the 7-day forecast.
All right, Chris, we'll see you in a few minutes. We have new details tonight on a deadly head-on crash up in the high country. Yavapai County Sheriff's Office says a father and his 2 young children were killed in that crash. Happened about 3 p.m. yesterday north of Prescott, the intersection of Williamson Valley Road and West Levy Lane. Jesse Foreman of Chino Valley was driving with 3 young children and their mother in the car. According to preliminary information, Foreman crossed over the double lines and crashed head-on into a Jeep carrying a 60-year-old woman and her adult son. 4 people were flown to hospitals, 2 others taken via ground ambulance to hospitals. And again, the father and 2 of his children were killed. Deputies still investigating the cause of the accident. We learned the identity of a motorcyclist who was killed in a crash this weekend in Goodyear. Police have identified him as 29-year-old Hunter Gasvoda. Police say Gasvoda died after crashing into the back of a car that was sitting stopped at a red light. This happened Friday about midnight near Estrella Parkway in Lower Buckeye. And tonight, police are still investigating the cause of this crash. Scottsdale Fire is investigating after a house under renovation catches fire. Video sent into our newsroom by fire officials here happened about 8 o'clock tonight. Fire damaged parts of the exterior of the home and then it burned inside the home as well. Fortunately, nobody was hurt in the fire. The investigation of the cause is continuing tonight. You can see a lot of damage at that home. An East Valley gas explosion survivor and other burn survivors laced up their shoes for an important cause today. 12 News journalist Tricia Hendricks spoke with people directly impacted by injuries or the loss of a loved one at the annual Arizona Walk of Courage.
On a mission
to support burn survivors and their families and what they've endured and what they're currently going through.
Dylan Ryan knows firsthand.
I was burned a little over 3 years ago in the Chandler natural gas explosion. Took us right out of our seats from our office desk in the snap of a finger.
The blast caused damage to businesses off Ray and rural roads and seriously injured 4 people. Dylan and his brother were 2 of them.
Next thing you know, we're at the Arizona Burn Unit at Valleywise, getting weeks of treatment, just trying to overcome what we had to take on.
Dylan says a lot of people thought he was good to go when he got discharged from the hospital, but the reality was much different.
It's a lifelong journey.
Here, Dylan and other survivors taking part in the 6th annual Arizona Walk of Courage at Rio Vista Community Park in Peoria.
I like to call it the start of my second life.
While the burn survivors here have endured so much,
I feel like I cheated death in some aspect.
Now, after overcoming severe burns and trauma, they're at a point where they're using what they went through for good.
Over time, I just started counting my blessings. I changed my mindset to start feeling thankful and appreciative for every day that came to me after then.
Dylan is now on the board for Changed by Fire, founded by Julie Piccone.
6 years ago, after my mom was in a house fire, she was in the Arizona Burn Center for 106 days. And unfortunately, she passed away on March 31st of 2019. But during that time, I got to meet a lot of burn survivors and their families, and I got to see what they were going through and the challenges that they still faced after they had healed physically. And so in May of 2019, I decided to start Change by Fire for us to come alongside the burn survivors, their families, and now we've aligned with also supporting healthcare practitioners.
Julie's work is vital
to help them heal emotionally, psychologically, and socially, utilizing alternative holistic healing modalities.
Here they're raising money to help other survivors and the Diane and Bruce Hawley Arizona Burn Center at Valleywise Health.
We bring this community together just to create a community of inclusion, love, and healing.
With their strength, determination, and faith, their mission continues.
I want burn survivors out there to know they're not alone.
In Peoria, Tricia Hendricks, 12 News.
For information on any of these organizations, the Arizona Burn Center, Changed by Fire, or the Arizona Walk of Courage, you can go to 12news.com. We've got links to all of them. Thousands of postal workers rallying across the nation protesting efforts to change the U.S. Postal Service that have been proposed. So here in Arizona, dozens gathered at Wesley Boland Plaza. The workers say they do not want the Trump administration to put the Postal Service under the control of the Commerce Department. Many are afraid mass layoffs would follow that. They also say mail delivery could be impacted by that move.
It's a huge concern. It affects our retirement. It affects our pay. A lot of people I have 18 plus years in. We have people that dedicated their lives to the post office, and if they privatize this is just going to destroy lives.
Workers also expressed concern about the future of their pensions and Social Security benefits if those changes were to take effect.